Who are you? Tell us about yourself, sir.
Yes, Drew. Who are you? Where do you come from?
My name's Drew. I'm the newest member here at Lady Liberty Tattoo. No, but I've been officially apprenticing here since June under CM, and I mean, really, like all you guys, you all pitch in, which is super cool. But yeah, just started on scan a couple of weeks ago, which is new and exciting and scary and different, but it's a beautiful thing, I guess.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, you're doing a pretty good job so far.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So what got your interest in tattooing? Like, how was that? How did that happen?
Honestly, so like,
Your parents just make you get a tattoo? Like,
yeah, no, my dad did not want me to get tattoos actually. No, I feel like the first time I ever remember like seeing a tattoo and thinking like, whoa, that's cool. One of my best friend's dads like rode Harleys and was a biker guy, and they would go out to Sturgis every single year for years and years, and I don't remember exactly when, but like I just became conscious of like his tattoos at one point, and I like was asking him about them, and he said that he got them at Sturgis, and it was just like under like in a random tent, like some random dude, and he's like, yeah, and he had like, I don't know, he had like photos. I remember him showing me, and like looking back, it was just like a couple long bearded dudes just slinging tattoos under.
Probably wearing wife beaters, and man, I bet you it was just hot and gross, and sweaty.
But I remember seeing like he had a couple tattoos up here, and then he had like this hand tattoo, and I remember just being like, that guy is so cool. He's got his hand tattooed. I was like, I could never do that. That's so cool. He's like a mechanic and shit too. And I was like, yeah, this guy is so cool.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
You have to have a hand tattoo if you're a mechanic.
Yeah, right.
I think.
But no, like saw him, and then like I always was drawing since I was a little kid, I guess. And I always wanted tattoos. Like I have photos of when I was a really little kid, and my mom, we'd like draw on each other with Sharpies, so she found like body marker crayons almost that like can wash off easy. So I'd just like make my little brother stand there, and I'd just draw all over him.
That's awesome.
Draw all over him and myself, and it was always like a bunch of face stuff and whatever.
Dude, we still look like we're from MS-13.
Yeah, right. But no, and I always was like, when I turn 18, I'm gonna get so many tattoos. I'm gonna get blasted. I think my mom probably just thought it was kind of like a phase, and I'd get over it. And I don't know. I guess I just started getting tattoos.
Now you gotta get over it, Mom.
Yeah. No, but she's always been like super supportive of anything and everything I wanted to do, I guess. But no, started getting tattooed, and like the idea of tattooing always to me definitely appealed, but like for some reason I thought if you were a tattooer, like you had to be able to like draw portraits. I was like, I could never, and I was like, I can't draw portraits. I could never be like, the thought was that quick of like, I could never draw like that, so I could never be a tattoo artist.
That's interesting.
And I don't know why that.
Like high expectation there.
But yeah. I just like, because I was like coming up in the point of where like Miami Ink and all that stuff. So that was like my main exposure at a point to tattoos. So you'd see all these things, and I was like, oh, I could never draw like that. I could never do that. And I didn't necessarily understand like how reference worked or anything like that. Like I just looked at these pieces and was like, this dude like just came up with this all in his head. Like I could never do that.
You must have missed the episodes where they're literally like tracing out of their books.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go like down the street, I can get a coffee. I'll just draw in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They're just tracing.
Yeah.
I remember like one of those episodes. They went next door to the computer business where you could go use the place's computer. What do they call those? Yeah,
never been there.
like a computer lab kind of a thing. Next door, and then they're like, all right, type in Ask Jeeves. That was totally a show sponsor.
Yeah.
Like Tiger.
The printers stores used to do that, and where you like pay for like
you go
hourly.
Rent their internet.
Yeah,
How
internet
stupid.
renting.
Now it's literally
all free.
Yeah.
Wow, you're dumb.
I think too, like maybe just like it was the area I grew up in, like tattoo artists in a way, like in a small town, or like the rock stars of the town in a way. At least in like my eyes, because I thought tattoos were cool, and I was like, I could never do something like that.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even know how to even get to that point. At that point, I had no idea what like an apprenticeship was, and like the one person that I had talked to about tattoos, the dude that I asked him like how he got into tattooing. He's like, oh, I just like fucked up my friends until I figured it out. And I was like, oh, I thought that's just how you became a tattoo artist. And I mean, for some people, yeah, but like,
which is
yeah,
accurate.
But like, I don't know. I guess like, yeah, with all that, I just was like, oh, I don't know if this is something that like I could even like really do. And it kind of just like, the idea, I guess, kind of went away. And I just did a lot of other things like video editing. I did a lot of stuff for like musicians, and that honestly, like, I think in everybody's life, like, you get to where you need to be when you need to get there. You know what I mean? Like I've told you before, man, I wish I would have started tattooing when I was younger. But like,
for real,
all these things, like I met all these people working in the music business, or like now I'm like, oh my God, I have all these people that are tattooed and probably would get tattooed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all these things that kind of bring you to a spot. But I don't know, it was like one day, it was actually my birthday. I think it was my 24th or 25th birthday. I was like sitting at a bar, and it was like,
what were you drinking?
Hams or PBR for sure, because I had no money for sure. And I remember like we'd been drinking like all night, but I just had like a moment of clarity, and I honestly like looked around, and I was with like two friends. I was like, I love these guys, but like everybody else sitting in this like hometown bar, I was like, I hate everybody here. And I was like, I don't know why I keep doing the same shit and like expecting different results in my life, I guess. And like tattooing, it just kind of started to entertain the idea more in my head, and I was like getting more tattoos. And I just like, one day I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna, well, I actually told myself, like moving back to the Twin Cities, I was like, I'm gonna give myself 2 years to try to get an apprenticeship. And if that doesn't work out, like I'm doing HVAC for the rest of my life. It's either this or this. And like, I just needed to like kick myself in the ass a little bit.
Yeah.
And,
give yourself a crossroads.
Yeah, and I definitely did not want like the thought of doing HVAC the rest of my life was not.
And everybody's gonna need to be heated and cool, bro.
Yeah, no, but like, yeah.
Well, now we know who to go to when we need help with our.
Yeah. It's not that bad, but like tattooing sounded way better to me than doing that.
Yeah, you can't really pick out an HVAC guy out of the town.
Yeah,
rather than like the rock star tattooer, like you said.
But again, like all these people I work with in HVAC, like it's a lot of tattooed people and people who are down with that kind of stuff. And like moving here, I didn't have a huge network or anything. So like doing that, and like just, I've met a whole network of people who enjoy tattoos. Which is pretty cool.
So if you were to put in a pie, what would it look like? So you got like musicians, HVAC guys.
Yeah.
And
right. Yeah.
Kung Fu instructors.
Yeah.
Like these days, a lot of police have tattoos too. It's like, wow.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Do you bite or cut your toenails?
What the?
It depends.
That's not on here.
You know, if I lost the nail clipper, I'll just go for the teeth.
Anna, where's the gosh dang nail clippers?
Or I'll let the dog nip at them.
So how did you find CM or find this place to?
Oh, that's a good
question. I was on the street corner with a sign.
Selling your body.
We'll teach tattooing for food. I'm
not hungry. I just want more tattoos.
No, it actually kind of was a funny thing. So CM had worked for my aunt and uncle years ago, and I'd made the choice. Like in Brainerd, there really wasn't anybody who I thought necessarily that I'd align with to try to get an apprenticeship. There's like one dude I talked to, super like cool dude, but like just didn't really work out. And in my head, I was like, well, I could either sit around Brainerd and just wait, or go like to a bigger pond in Twin Cities. And I was like, I'll probably figure something out eventually.
Smart move.
And it was like maybe a week or two before I was moving to the Twin Cities that my mom was at my aunt's, she owns a thrift store, and she's like was there to talk or chat or whatever, and like brought it up to her, like, yeah, Drew's moving to the city, he's gonna try to tattoo. And she was like, she's like one of those people who just like knows somebody and everything all the time somehow. And she's like, oh, I know somebody who's a tattooer, and like she has no tattoos. It just wouldn't have like made sense to even talk to her about it.
Yeah.
But then she referred me to CM, and I think I sent you an email asking if I could come down and meet or call or something. And I think it was kind of like a, hey, thanks, because you were apprenticing at the time.
Yep.
He told, yeah, go.
Oh.
No. He was just like, I think he said something along the lines of like, I have an apprentice currently.
Yeah, I think that had to have been it was for sure when like we committed that Anna was going to be starting late that summer. So I want to say
we
maybe
took turns.
Hmm?
Me first, then you.
Yeah, and I'd like sent some drawings, and I think you like gave me a little bit of critique, which was nice of my drawings. You weren't just like completely shut me down, and you responded, which was super nice. So like you gave me some guidance on like my drawing, which was good stuff. Like I was thinking in my head, just draw really big stuff, and then you said something like start small, because if there is mistakes, they can maybe be
work on your forearms.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But then I think you just said we'll stay in contact and keep drawing.
Yep.
And then eventually I think we just kind of networked a little bit back and forth, and then
yeah. Well, and I think too I was like seeking some videographers or something because I wanted to still do my seminar stuff. And then he hit me up again. He's like, hey, that's my background.
Yeah, I was just being annoying and kept hitting him up.
No.
I was like, yeah, I can do video stuff or
Whatever you need, I'll do it.
Did you fire that Anna girl yet?
Yeah.
Because I'm ready.
Well, I
want to be your bitch.
To me, it's just always like in my head, I was like, I'm sure that this guy, like people ask all the time. So I was just like trying to put my best foot forward, I guess, to be like, hey, like at least like let's have a conversation, you know what I mean? 'Cause I'm sure you get random shit like that all the time or often. I was like, I don't know. Yeah.
Such a good mindset.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it just ended up working out. You had me come in and bring in my stuff, and I was definitely super scared because I was like, I'm gonna go in there. I didn't know you or know any of you guys. I was like, I'm gonna go in there, and I was like, I'm gonna get ripped apart. Like I just like heard that from people, so I just had this expectation of like,
we're actually pretty nice here, actually.
yeah, you guys. Are
It's all jokes.
Yeah.
Besides from joking.
Way too much sarcasm coming from this side of the shop.
I just like, honestly though, I fully just like had the mentality of like, I'm okay if these people like rip me apart or whatever. I was like, I'll just go in and just with an open mind and see what happens.
Dude, that's great. Because I know dudes that any of us could go to their shop and they either love what you do or they will shred you to. But it's like, all right, you are like 10 times better than me, and I'm just gonna eat that shit and move on and try to draw better. But I mean, that's kind of like probably leads into one of the next questions is like, what did you have maybe like as what's the word I'm looking for? Not an expectation, but
an anticipation.
A goal?
No, just like what did you? Not a word magician. What did you think that an apprenticeship would look like?
I feel like I did a lot of at least what I thought was like research on just like tattooing as a whole, and especially like apprenticeships. Like I was getting tattooed by apprentices because in my head I was like, if I want to get the best representation, I was like, I can go get tattooed by an apprentice and just kind of see what like maybe the ambiance is like, and just like see kind of. So I was getting tattooed by I'd gotten tattooed by 2 different apprentices, and kind of like paid attention to how they were treated by their mentors, or how like that vibe kind of was. And then I just watched like a ton of YouTube and like Reddit, did a lot of Reddit reading and stuff. So like, again, I fully expected like getting an apprenticeship was like, well, I'm just gonna have to tough it out for like a couple years and get bullied and just like do my time kind of thing, you know? I feel like I expected the worst.
We should have had him get us food all the time.
Dude, I mean, there for sure is that too, and I've seen that happen where, like, an apprentice, none of mine or whatever, but like in other shops, hey, can you run and get us coffee, or you know?
That's not a big deal.
Drew's so nice. He offers. He's like, "Do you guys want anything?
well-
I'll go get it."
Well, like
Yeah.
I
Can I get you guys anything? Yeah, no, I don't know, T-bone.
well, like I get it because you guys
T-bone steak, please.
Couple T-bone.
like it makes sense to me if you guys are tattooing and I'm just like hanging out. Like if you guys need something, to me it makes sense. Like, hey, would you mind? You know what I mean?
See, I have a problem with flavor. That's my issue. Like, just tastes good. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I expected the worst. Honestly, I didn't.
Do you think there's any value to those types of apprenticeships for people being treated like shit, or even just like that total delayed gratification of like you're not even touch a tack gap until 18 months.
So the one interaction that I experienced, like getting tattooed by apprentices, I got tattooed by this one guy, and like him and his mentor were pretty tight, but then there was this like other apprentice, this girl, and it kind of just felt like the girl in the corner. Like I was getting tattooed and she'd come up and like ask him a question and be like, "What do you want?" And you know what I mean? And like she was just treating her like shit, and I was like, I definitely like did not want, like, I don't think that
I wouldn't want to work there.
I'd imagine that she was like a little bit older too, so I'd imagine like in my head she's just like she's just doing her time trying to like make it through. Hopefully. And just like exactly. I think that working in the trades definitely like helped in that kind of stuff, because definitely like the guy that I learned HVAC under, like I just got bullied the whole time. Like he was annoyed that I was there and like let me know. Like
he was probably like an older dude too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, like
probably your age at least.
Wait a minute.
Like no, like he'd like if I was messing something up, he'd come up to me and be like, "Are you stupid? Like, what are you doing?" Like that kind of. So like, I feel like working in the trades definitely. Again, like I was like, well, it's like that there, so I'm assuming it's going to be the same, you know.
So patient.
But no, I think that there's like benefit. I think tough love is good. Like I don't feel like necessarily like you grow a whole lot if everybody all the time is just like, you're doing such a good job. That's great.
Here's the gold star sticker.
I think that like there's a balance. You know, I also don't think that like working in an environment necessarily where everybody's just an asshole all the time is great either, because maybe then you are doing great work and then you think you're just dog shit, and maybe you just like lose your drive for what you're doing.
Sure.
For real. Yep. If you get put down all the time, you don't feel like you're good enough to do it. Right?
Exactly.
Yep.
That's an interesting perspective.
No, I feel like there's a balance.
So what you're saying is I should be more mean.
No, I mean, great. You
A healthy balance.
Yeah. No,
Right?
I mean, you're very easy to be around and like work alongside, but definitely like if one of us was fucking up or like being a jackass, you're gonna say something, which is good, I think.
Yeah, true.
No, I've seen it, but not because of anything he's done.
Yeah. Well,
There's been a couple of small things, but it's just been like you've owned it, and you're like, yep. I already offered them way more than
Yep.
you know would be expected.
Yeah, I tried to correct it before,
and that's
before it had, before it goes up and before it gets worse.
But Nigh has seen it get worse too.
But it shouldn't have been, you know.
You're right.
They just took it the wrong way.
Yeah. Shit doesn't have to be hard.
Yep.
So then how would you describe your apprenticeship experience based off of like all the other things that you've seen?
I feel like I definitely got super lucky. Like, I think it was like, I definitely had to like work hard to hold my spot or whatever. But again, I like expected the worst. Or like not getting beat up at work every day. Like I could actually focus like on my work. It wasn't so horrible, if that makes sense.
Yep.
No, I feel like it was good. You've like given me a ton of good and great guidance and information. And I don't know, I also feel like too, maybe that some mentors, like the one dude I was getting tattooed by for a while, like he was doing pretty good, but it seemed like he started tattooing. His mentor was like, all right, now you're done. And he just would like talk to his, like the mentor, just kind of chat with his buddies the whole time and not really help them. And I feel like you you do a great job of continuing to just like be there, you know what I mean? And help or whatever.
I think it's because like, just because you're an apprentice that we don't expect you to do everything. Like me and Anna's, we're willing to chip in too, you know?
Right.
Like take out the garbage and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
you know, we don't want you to feel like you're a bitch.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, we want you to feel comfortable here.
Yeah.
That's one of the good reasons too, I think.
I definitely feel a lot of like camaraderie in the sense for like maybe in some environments I've gotten tattooed in before, like you don't feel that being in the shop. It almost, some places it kind of seems like this is my corner, this is your corner, this is my corner, and we're gonna stay over here and say hi, do our tattoo, and leave. That's, you know,
absolutely.
Sounds so boring.
That's that was exactly how the last place I worked was like there were like
Don't interact with each other.
3 different shops within the shop because there was like 2 dudes in this room, 2 dudes in this room, 3 dudes out here, and then like sometimes we wouldn't even, you know, like see each other or talk to each other because then each room has built their own clique, and that was like one reason why I didn't want like more than 4 chairs. Just like hopefully, you know, that's not
right.
And if it happens, it's maybe a little bit more manageable, but nobody's like necessarily like falling through the cracks or something.
I think it's nice too having like the open concept here because it's like everybody's involved in everything that's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Super fun. What are some like challenges that you've experienced since you started?
Other than working with Anna.
Okay, I'm the most difficult,
That was
obviously.
my question.
I know, we was waiting for our sandwiches forever and shit.
No one asked. They only demanded.
I feel like one of the most like difficult things I've experienced so far, and like I can't necessarily expect people to understand, is like with some like friends or family, like they don't necessarily understand how much time you need to like devote to this to where like some people in my life have taken it personally, maybe that like I'm not seeing them as much, or like I'm not spending time with. It's like, it's no hate to anybody. I'm really just focused on what I'm doing right now, and like it's my priority, I guess. I think that's the biggest challenge for sure. It's just hard. Like I'm okay doing that. I'm okay with what I have to do, but like the hard part is like I hate like just letting people down in general. So I hate being like, sorry, I can't make it to this or whatever. Like, the event doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. It's more the like.
Some people don't understand the background stuff, you know, the stuff you have to do to before you do the tattoo. Actually, you know what I mean? Like all the work you put in to design their stuff, or to set up, you know, things that we got to do.
Right.
That's true.
Taken away from our family.
Yeah. Yep. And then it's like, if I do have like a day off or something, like I definitely am like an introvert. So like if I have a day off, like honestly, I just want to like I don't want to like go out and do a bunch of shit with people. Like I just need like to recharge and chill, you know what I mean? So I think I'm still at like the stage of maybe just like trying to find that
Find
yin
the
and
balance.
yang,
Yeah,
you
try
know
to find the
what I mean?
balance.
Yeah, that's probably that tattoo gods thing there.
Yeah.
This is your sacrifice.
Yeah.
This is your offering. It's like it's time right
Right.
now.
Mm-hmm.
It will get better,
Yeah.
you know, for sure, if you want it to.
I also like, I really enjoy it and find stability like in my life and being busy. Like when I have too much free time is when I just like can start to spiral almost.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like I've got this going on. I work in HVAC, then I go into the tattoo shop and I'm doing podcast stuff, and it just keeps things moving
Keeps it
forward,
clicking.
which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you forget what day it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
I do. That's every day. What day are we in?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I worked on Monday and it's just thrown my whole week off.
Right.
And then I'm like, I gotta work tomorrow too.
Mhm.
Guess I work 7 days in a week this week. All right, that's
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
See, but that's like I'm still paying the dues, right?
Mhm.
Like, well, this is
Right.
Yeah, that's
tattoo
why I'd
god.
be surprised sometimes when I see you guys in on like Sundays. I'm like, what?
Right, yeah.
I also though I just like this is like I said before, this is something I've always wanted to do. So like I still walk in here and I'm like, yeah, I actually like got here. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't feel like work necessarily.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, so it's like I get to go to the tattoo shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
That's why I
have
say
to.
like you don't have to leave. You can stay as long
Yeah.
as I'm here. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember those days too. It's like, man, I can't wait to go to the tattoo shop. And I'd like ride my bike. I used to have a lowrider bike in Brainerd.
Yeah.
When I worked downtown at Paint Inc.
Yeah.
Just ride my bike from Baxter and I just want to be at the tattoo shop.
Yeah. When I first got to work here, I was like, oh shit, I can't wait to go.
Yeah.
Every time I'm at work,
Get
I'm
all
at
this
my real
stupid
job.
job.
Every time I have my real job, and I'm like, damn, I can't wait to get off so I can go to
Yeah.
the tattoo
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah.
I think one other challenge that we were kind of talking about earlier is like super fortunate to work around you guys, and you tattoo and draw super good, and like I'm always just hard on myself where I'm just learning how to tattoo, so I'm like my tattoo doesn't look like CM's. So I'm like, God, this is dog shit. You know what I mean? I just like am hard on myself.
I'm over here. God, my tattoos don't look like.
But no, it's like just learning to like be patient with
But you always
myself.
have to challenge yourself though, because every
Yeah.
time you look at your old stuff, you're like, God damn. what the
Yeah.
fuck, man?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but
Why did I even take pictures of that?
Yeah.
For real.
But learning to like not stare at the one spot, you know, just
Did you
Yeah.
do
Sometimes you
that?
just gotta let it go.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm super
Look
happy
at
to
it
relate.
and know what you got to change, and then move on,
Yeah.
or else you're just gonna be stressing yourself out.
right. Yeah.
But I feel like it also helps drive like that desire to get better
Yeah,
too
for
at the
sure.
same time. I mean, you don't want to like beat yourself up too hard.
Yeah.
Like I say, every tattoo is a learning experience.
Yeah.
dude.
And I definitely have like thought about it. I've heard you say it a million times. Like, there's no perfect tattoo.
No matter who does it.
Yeah. So yeah, I've just been kind of looking at what I've done. After I'm done, when I get home, kind of pick a couple things that I maybe want to try a little different next time, and keep on doing that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes like I'm looking at my tattoos, you know, look at my arms all the time, and when I'm, you know, see other tattoos that just badasses have done, I'm like, oh, I see that. I'm like, that's cool. That's handcrafted art.
Yeah.
And no tattoo is
We're
perfect.
humans, not robots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not printers.
Right. Yeah,
Have you seen the machine doing tattoos?
Yes.
That's crazy.
You just put their arm in it.
I don't even believe that that's ever going to be able to.
You
and I'm
can't
a
because
fan.
you got to
It's
move
not
your
gonna-
arm.
I'm
It's
a-
not gonna
Sometimes,
take off.
You know what I
What
mean?
happens when you pass out, and then that needle's just like.
Exactly.
This is not there's no way they could teach you how to like compensate
Yeah.
for skin and
Yeah, especially like what if you got to roll your arm?
right.
And then what the machine's gonna do? They don't know where the machine don't know where it's
Who's
at.
Stretching. What's stretching the skin?
Nothing.
Oh yeah,
Nothing.
true
It's
that,
just
right?
This whole other
Right.
mechanism that's like, oh god, that's really
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah, that's not gonna. Yeah, people need to stop that.
I don't even trust the eye laser thing. I'm for sure
Yeah.
not trusting.
Well, that's the best thing that I ever did. But I just say, well, now I think I need a touch up because at nighttime I can't see shit. It all went to shit. You know what I mean? At nighttime is
Yeah.
a whole bunch of glares now.
You just hope for the best.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it doesn't help that I tinted my front windshield either.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Allegedly.
State Farm was there.
Yeah.
All right.
Advice to other people considering
Where
apprenticeship.
are you at?
I'm just down at the bottom.
Yeah, so like if somebody wanted to get into tattooing,
Mm-hmm.
like what would like advice
Shut
would
up,
you give
Anna.
them? I'm sorry,
Be
Anna.
nice.
I'm sorry.
Why are you picking on me?
What did you ask?
I said like what advice would he give people that wanted to get into apprenticeship?
I think like a good starting point in my head is to like do your own research and do like extensive research. Find maybe what you think is good resources, but like make sure it's something you want to be serious about. Like think about it, consider it, because like you said, there's so much more than just like your 2-hour, 3-hour tattoo and then leaving. Like there's so much more that goes into it. You're gonna have to make sacrifices. You're gonna have to do these things. I think like having that understanding is good. Just making sure it's what you want to do and and you want to do it for the right reasons, I guess. Because if you don't want to do it for the right reasons, you're probably going to be pretty disappointed. Like,
Well, the client doesn't deserve that either.
Right.
They don't deserve that you're just like, yeah, I don't know. Working at the putt-putt place
Right.
didn't work out, so
Yeah.
I just thought I'd try this.
Right. Yeah, I think that, and then one thing I feel like I got really lucky with, I like considered, but like it wasn't number one, I guess, on my like looking for apprenticeship thing, was like make sure you find somebody that you're going to get along with. Because I feel like I can't imagine, we spend so much time together, like all of us really. We're like, I can't imagine if I was like worked under somebody I didn't like and like having to be this close.
That's why I like
And
seeing
all
him
the
because he asked us too, like, what do you think of him and are you guys okay?
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad that like you check in on us to see if we like him.
Should we tell him what we said?
You're still here, God damn it!
The real reason for this podcast.
Yeah, I think that, and I don't know, maybe like even if you're doing like the wrong things, quote unquote, like make an effort before you go in and talk to somebody, so you can show them you're at least like trying, or you're finding, you did information, and you're like drawing may not be exactly a tattoo, but you drew 20 of them and you're trying. I think that probably goes a long way. I don't know, make yourself stand out to the 100 other people that are gonna come in and ask.
At least produce something.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing I learned too through even when I was tattooing full time. If I didn't have an appointment, I would just draw stuff. And one time I drew like this, what was turning out to be a really cool Abraham Lincoln portrait. Posted it on the internet, and somebody was like, "Dude, that guy looks like an ape." And he was
Internet
right.
be fucking hurting
And
people,
he was
man.
right.
I'm telling you,
But he
for
was
real.
right, though. I was like, yeah, it does. And I'm like just hating my life because this is now public. And even my friends were like, dude, fucking send him a DM with that stuff. You know, don't put that out in the public. And then I was talking to another buddy. I'm like, dude, this sucks. He's like, you know what? You created something today. Like, that's right. And so then the next day I did another portrait, and it was way better of Abraham Lincoln. So.
I'm telling you, man, internet
There
be
you go.
brutal, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd be scary to post shit up, man. I'm telling you, internet is brutal.
Yeah.
Open invitation.
I think too, when it's like comes to just like creating things, at least for me, I can like draw things better, or like my drawing session goes better when I don't have that expectation of like I need to make something great. Just like draw to draw or whatever, and unless I mean, drawing for an appointment could be different, but like I'm just gonna sit down and draw and just see what happens, and then, you know, and then usually I produce a little better that way. But
yeah, that's probably like a good place to try to stay too.
yeah,
It's like draw for fun, draw for you, and then hopefully the people will gravitate towards what you're doing.
I think getting tattooed as well can be important, because I think even if you are a really talented artist and you could be a really talented tattooer, maybe you like walk into a tattoo shop and hang out for the first time and you're like, I don't know if this is where I want to hang out every day. Maybe it's, you know what I mean? There could be maybe you're, I don't know. I guess just a thought I have is maybe it's not an environment for everybody necessarily.
Totally. Yeah, I would fully agree with that. I remember Legend wanted to our daughter Legend wanted to have like a little album release party here. And so we did that, and half the people had never stepped foot in a tattoo shop. And then the things that I heard afterwards, like, wow, it's really dark. Like some of those posters were just like demonic. Like, oh my god.
Because she does church music, right?
Yeah, so that was a lot of the crowd.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man,
your daddy's satanic.
Sad.
Yeah, it's like, wow, there's this whole other side of the world.
But we got a Jesus asking,
$2 for snacks.
Jesus asking for $2 for snacks.
We have a lot of Jesus.
People love that
really?
that photo. Yeah, they're like, oh my God, Jesus asking for $2.
I think sometimes like, yeah, art can be like super deep, but also sometimes like that's just like a cool badass horse. There's nothing deeper than that.
Yeah, it's like, well, who cares? Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the person's intention why they drew that. It's freaking sick. And I like to know how to draw wings, so that's why I bought that.
Right.
And I look up to that every time I need to draw a wing.
Yeah.
So I know that you were mostly interested in
Tramp stamps.
that and like old traditional tattoo work, the sailor stuff.
Yeah.
So like me and CM was telling you, like sometimes you have to transition to different kind of styles. So how do you feel about that?
So like, for me, I think it's important to at least, and it's pretty vague, but like try everything. Like, I think if somebody came in and somebody comes in and wants something that's not necessarily like what I like to draw, as long as I feel like it's something that I could like tackle, and even if it's something I feel like I can't, maybe talk to you and you can help me break it down a little more. I think it's important to get a little bit uncomfortable and try new things, because I think, especially, and this is my opinion, I have no idea, but like, I feel like, especially being an apprentice and so young in tattooing, where if I'm like, I only do traditional tattoos, I feel like I'm gonna maybe be like grow to this much of a tattooer, where I could have been like this much of a tattooer. So I think, and who knows, like maybe I figure out how to do portraits, and then I'm like, oh my God, like I really like doing this.
Yeah,
I think you just gotta try things and just see what clicks and learn.
Yeah, because probably in the whole tattoo career, there's like all these doors that you can walk through if you want to. Like, getting the apprenticeship, and then just becoming a good tattooer, or halfway decent tattooer. Or maybe even more so, just getting your apprenticeship, learning the fundamentals, growing on those fundamentals. And I would never put like picking a style in any of that.
I'm just stoked
try it all.
I'm just stoked that people want to come in and get tattooed. Like, I'm not stuck on what it is. If it's something that's like, I think it's super cool, like Cody, he got that cool snake and skull. Like, that's sick. I'm super excited to do this, but like, I'm just happy that people want to get tattooed by me. You know what I mean? So like, I'm just, taking it for what it is. I have a couple. Go ahead.
I'm just saying cheers to that.
Oh,
Thank
you.
Cheers. Okay, enough of that. Do you think that you're drawing stuff differently than today, or since you've gotten the apprenticeship, than what?
For sure. I'm drawing stuff different like today than I am like a month ago. Even like some of my flash stuff that I drew as part of my assignment, as like they're coming through as tattoos, I'm like, I shouldn't have done it like this. Or like, if I do this again, maybe I'm gonna do it like this. Or like, I know there's been quite a few, like even before I put the flash out, or like there was at least like 2 or 3 designs on each page where I was like, we need to dumb this down a little bit. Like, there's no way I'm gonna achieve this right now. with my, you know what I mean, ability. Just like,
was that hard for you to grasp? Because for me, that was really challenging to like just get a hold of and like dumb it down. What do you mean?
Yeah, yes and no. I think being like, I really like traditional tattoos. And I like getting traditional tattoos. It's like when you told me that, in my head, it's just like, if you're drawing a tattoo that's like maybe like kind of looks like a traditional tattoo, like start there. In my head, start at that point, and then maybe think about adding some things from there. That's kind of how it, that's kind of how it I make sense of it.
Yeah, I think early on, I think I would tell you like your stuff is very linear. And I even related it to like, I wonder if that's because of what you see every day. Yeah. HVAC.
It's supposed to all be
perfect. Very linear, and it needs to just like move and twist and you know, like try to stretch it this way instead. But yeah, and open it up. And even I think that's probably one of the most common things that people who seek out an apprenticeship, that's like the number one thing. Rarely do people draw like tattooable stuff. Like, you know, maybe Nate did. He said that was kind of always what he, you know, leaned towards. But you know, even Anna and even a couple of other people have come through. It's like, these are cool drawings, but here's how. You know, that's great, and that belongs in this category.
That goes over there.
And that's going to work perfectly fine over there for a tattoo. And then she defined it as, so like a logo. Oh yeah, that's actually a great word for that, because it's like, you know, you could show anybody the Nike swoosh symbol and they're all gonna know what it is. Now if it were like super busy, then I'd be like, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Yeah, it definitely has changed a lot how I've drawn, and I'm sure a year from now and 5 years from now, it's still gonna change and develop a lot. I'm just like starting to understand.
That's why I asked you the other day, like, how do you like whip shading? You know what I mean? Because I know you like traditional stuff, but when you did the whip shading, like, how you like that? And you said you like it because it's fun, right? Because it is, right?
Yep. And that's just one of the ways to do shading.
Yeah, you just gotta try it, man. You know, you don't know until you try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're not comfortable with it, then then that's what you know about yourself.
Yeah, take your licks, move on.
Yeah,
like I've never tried a color portrait, and I'm like, I don't know, man, I'm too afraid of that one. And so
me too, actually.
I know a couple of dudes who'll treat you really good in that area.
Okay, that's a podcast right there. Both of you, color portrait, we'll record both.
Yeah,
man.
Release it. Same
Who
day.
would we do it on?
I don't know.
I don't know. It looks so hard with the color portrait. It's like, man,
it just requires, like, you have to not care about what color that thing is. Like, I saw probably one of my top favorite tattooers at a convention one time, and he was doing a portrait of Tiger Woods on somebody, and dude, his face was green. And I'm like, what is he doing?
like a muted, like a glow,
like a mossy green. But that's what he saw in the photo, and it's like, okay, I wouldn't think that. One, I can tell it's Tiger Woods, obviously. So, you know, so it's like, wow, how did he break down that?
Tiger Woods trying to almost puking.
It was a color portrait. He's turning into the Hulk, I think.
That was it.
So it was like, and that's just what would so much, like, totally throw me off. You know, I've got like a whole like flesh tone set in my drawer, and I'm like, I don't know how would this work in a color portrait. Like, that's really pink.
That's one of the things
really
I'm scared to start on too, like color portraits.
I mean,
honestly, I don't think I can do it. You know,
I don't even want to try.
You know,
like I'll try to do a realistic rose or something, but you'll know that that's a rose. But I don't want to mess up Granny.
Heck yeah.
May or whatever.
Yeah, like I seen a lot of tattoos where like they do like old people and they overdo the wrinkles and it looks
Like
all
erase it?
messed up, you know?
Yeah.
It's like holy shit, you know? I don't want to fuck up
Yeah.
people like that and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Looks like they have a bunch of warts all
Yeah,
over.
it's like,
Bumps
holy
all
shit.
over the place.
Well, then on the opposite side of that, though, too, like I saw, I don't know if you guys follow a dude named Roman, but I've got his DVD over there. But he's either biomech or color portrait.
He was on Ink Masters too, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. He usually wears a big mohawk.
Yep.
And he did a portrait of Eminem, super sick. But people tore it apart. Like, dude, he's like, you know, he's so like, it was really just the color was just oversaturated. He's like, guys, I have to do this because it's a tattoo. It's like, I know it's different than the
Yeah,
photo.
when it heals, you probably
Yeah.
look better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he even like the next day, which was crazy to see him like feeling like he had to defend himself. Like, dude, this is probably like one of the best color portrait artists next to Nico. But he's like,
That's what happens when you throw it out to the public.
yeah. Here, assholes, what do you think?
You know, I think too, like somebody who has no idea like how to tattoo or what it entails, like
Right.
doesn't necessarily always understand you're not a printer. Like
Yeah.
Right.
you achieve this and that is incredible. You're literally
Yes.
using needles and penetrating the skin.
My canvas is literally bleeding.
yeah.
And moving.
Well,
Like swelling and breathing.
Especially when they do old people, dude, because sometimes they'd be like, old people look like fucking fingerprints.
Yeah.
All the lines and wrinkles. You're like, hell no.
And that skin just is like,
Yeah.
Oh, this is weird. Your turn, Anna.
Yes.
Oh, you're on the second page. Okay.
I'm on the second page. Business side of tattooing. So like managing. So outside of the creative part, what has it been like for you to navigate just that other side of admin stuff?
Yeah. That's something that I am just kind of starting to get into. I think at first, like when I made the post that I was doing like free tattoos or whatever, that was definitely like, I was like, oh, I'll like take an hour and like go through some emails quick, and it turned into like all day going through emails.
Yep.
So I think,
Especially when you post free tattoos.
yeah. So it was like, now I kind of know what to expect. You know, I think it's like, it definitely is an adjustment, and it's gonna take like learning and
Yeah.
that stuff. But like, to me, like I like to have a process for everything. So once I kind of get my process figured out,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, I can kind of. But getting the process set is where I get a little like,
What do I do?
Yeah.
Well, I think she's really good at creating processes
Yeah.
and that are replicatable. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Duplicable, replicable.
And I've always, like, anytime somebody, now it's just an auto reply, but you know, when I would reply to it would always be thank you for reaching out to me.
Mhm.
And I think that's probably what my auto reply says, because I genuinely, like, you have a lot of people to pick from, and if you're picking me, I'm grateful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so if you can, like, you know, maybe mesh like what that wording is to
Yeah.
let people know that, like, hey, I take this serious that you contacted me.
Yeah.
And then
Out of so many tattooers out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think too, like one thing I kept on, like maybe I was overthinking or overanalyzing. It's like trying to find that mesh of like being personable over email, but like professional.
I know.
Where
Where's the line?
I don't want to like sound like a robot, because I do
Yes.
want like people to.
But also not best buddies.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just.
But then
like,
sometimes you got to know your client too. If you like talk to them before, you're like, hey, what's up? You know?
Yeah.
But then,
Right.
then it's like, oh, thank you for your interest. You know? What I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like my coworker I tattooed, I knew this dude for like a year. I never knew his full name. Like I was always like, "Oh, Welder Josh, what's up, dude?"
So I don't know who this guy
Yeah.
is. Do you guys know who
So
this
his
is?
email comes in and it's his full name, and I didn't know it was
Who's
him.
this?
And then when he like got here, I was like, "Oh, I did whatever, yada yada." And he's like, "Yeah, I didn't think you knew it was me by the way you were emailing me." Because I was like, I thought it was just some random dude. So I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, thank you for reaching out." Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like you said, it's kind of just like knowing who you're talking
Right,
to.
yeah.
But I think
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
though, like, even though you know these people, when they see that, they're like, dude, you're taking this serious.
Yeah, that's
It's
important.
not like, you waited 8 days before you even replied to my email.
Yeah.
Because I was a nuisance asking for an appointment. It's that not only did you reply, but you thanked me for reaching out.
Yeah, a lot of people like thank me for like replying so fast too. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't keep them hanging too long either.
Right.
They'll go find someone else.
I think that's super important. Like the getting to them immediately, for one, like you said, or you said, like they can just go to somebody else. You're not responding in a day. Okay, I'm going to find somebody else. I appreciate when people like respect my time, and I want to respect people's time too. And I don't want to be like, yeah, I'll get to you when I get to you, man. You know what I mean? Like, I want to respect your time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah, even Rhiannon brought that up too. Is like, this never, like, we're never like off.
Yeah.
You can be if you want to be, and that's totally fine. I've never wanted to be.
Yeah.
I've always been like, oh my gosh, they're picking me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
But I would say that probably the boundary is don't hand out your cell phone number ever.
Yeah. Like being able, one thing that, especially from like the free tattoo thing, like containing people almost to like one space or maybe one or two spaces, like it's not like I don't want to talk to you. It's like I'm gonna be more readily available, and like I don't know, like I won't lose your message or anything. Like if I'm like looking in my email for tattoo
you can
stuff,
search
I won't
it
miss it. Yeah.
instead of looking, because I feel like if I have everything, like I got people on Instagram, people on Facebook, people in my email, people, my friends who already have my phone number are texting me. So if I just say, hey, do you mind shooting an email over because I can find you later, then I can know that everything's like right there, and then I don't have to check every single one of those accounts.
I told my friends that for the free tattoo thing too. I was like, I love you guys, but
just do
put
me
it
a
in
favor.
the email so
Yeah.
I have a log.
It helps.
Keep track
It
of
helps me
everything.
stay organized, and I know exactly where to look for tattoo related stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually told a dude that the other day. It's like, first off, I rarely use Facebook Messenger, and it's like, but like, all right, I'll take this appointment now. But hey, dude, if anything changes, just shoot me an email.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I will never think to look here for that. So yeah, if you're like maybe too available, then it can get pretty confusing.
Where do you find inspiration for drawing and creativity?
I think a lot comes from like skateboarding and like graffiti stuff. Like I used to do graffiti quite a bit. I was never any good, but I just loved how people would take the weirdest things, like take like Rick and Morty or something, and then like blast it on some wall, and they're like smoking a joint or something. I'm like, it's so random, but it's just like, I don't know. There's like, I found like people are so creative doing graffiti and with like skateboard art. I feel like it's kind of a similar thing, the most random things. And I don't know. I think definitely influenced a lot from that.
Like with that, I used to thought that was like pretty cool when they like fucking graffiti shit on the highways and shit, until like it was artwork. I appreciate it, but it was like gang related. I'm like, what the fuck, How the fuck you get up there and go under the bridge? And
Are you hanging over the edge?
Right?
You're painting that upside
How'd
down.
they get that?
I think too, there's like people who like are graffiti artists and people who are just like, I'm blasting shit. Like, just being a fucking
absolutely,
asshole.
absolutely.
Like hopping a bridge and blasting.
Like when I
on
see
the
stuff on the
head
train,
side,
you see really cool stuff,
Yeah.
and then you see some really dumb
Just-
stuff. Like
just garbage.
really,
Yeah.
I love watching shit on the train. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because some people are like, I'm like, holy shit, this
Yeah.
is tight.
And I always thought it was so like, and maybe this is kind of like the skateboard influence, but like to me, it was like a rush to like have a backpack full of cans and then go like
A little adrenaline.
go like sneak into this spot.
Hold my ankles, bro.
Yeah, but like literally like we all throughout like Minneapolis and St. Paul's, we'd go in like these abandoned factories and shit. So like Like the one I have.
Oh yeah,
in
which
mind.
ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which ones would you draw?
Allegedly, we knew people who were doing this, but like this one spot that comes to mind, you'd have to go there at like 2 a.m, and there's security that drives up and down. So like you got a backpack full of cans, and you're like hopping a fence, and then you're sitting waiting for security, and then you have like a lookout, and you're doing your thing, and it's like that was just like a whole process of.
How many times would you say you did that?
Allegedly a couple times.
Allegedly. Did you ever get caught? Maybe.
I mean, got caught, but never got caught. Like we brought away or whatever. But like, again, it was like very rudimentary. Like I was like, again, like I just enjoyed doing shit. So I was like trying to learn like lettering or whatever. So it's nothing good, but like the whole process is fun. I see why it appeals to people for sure.
That's cool.
And like you'd go to these spots and you'd meet these like older dudes who are doing this. It's like they just never grew up and they just love the rush of doing it.
Did I ever share with you my buddy in San Francisco? He started out as a graffiti artist. His name's Shane Grammar Arts.
Okay.
Like when I first met him, he was just tagging, like, and that was a majority of what he would do. Now he's doing like.
I gotta stop this. I gotta go pee real quick.
I
gotta pee real quick. I gotta go pee.
I gotta go now. You got Abe Lincoln looking at you in the doorway.
That's not what a deer sounds like. I can eat this cow that's butchered, or no, he's like, how I harvest it is with an arrow to clean kill, or it's gonna, never mind.
Feeling lost? Down? Out of options? Got questions about tattoos but don't know where to turn? Well, have no fear. The Lady Liberty Tattoo Podcast Hotline is here. That's right, folks. Call in and get tattoo advice straight from the pros. Whether it's about your tattoo horror story, or if you just want to know why your tattoo itches, we've got the ears and answers you need. Call now, 612-356-2299. Again, 612-356-2299. Operators are standing by. Kinda. Leave us a voice memo, and we will review it on our show.
In 5 years. Why you got the giggles? As a tattoo artist, what are your long-term goals? Someone gets the giggles and I get the giggles. Okay, 5 years. Where do you see yourself?
I think, well, for one, I definitely hope it's before 5 years. I want to be tattooing full time.
That's a good goal.
I'm not like necessarily rushing it, but I definitely am like when I can make that transition, I'm ready to do that as soon as I can. You know, I think about it every day when I'm at work.
Dude, I'm telling you, like
stuff.
Even when we did my interview, I said I was scared to jump, right? Until Sam was like, man, just do it. And when I did, I was like, fuck, man, I should have did it a fucking long time ago, right?
Yeah, once I like know that I can pay my bills, at least I don't even need money beyond that. Like that's at least more opportunity for me to go even beyond that with all that extra time. And but yeah, that's definitely like one of my goals. I think my goal right now is to just like stay tattooing, get better, develop skills, and like solidify the fundamentals.
Do you have any favorite, and before you even got here, did you have any favorite tattoo artists or shops, and even now too?
Yeah.
The safe answer is Lady Liberty.
No, it's not. That's, if it
kidding.
is, that's cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I opened this place, I wanted to be like one of the top. I didn't want to be the top because, in my opinion, I already know who is. I'm just like, I just want to be one of the top.
Yeah.
If we can.
Honestly, before I started working here, I was always super. I still am, but like just like the New York old school like tattoo scene, like all of those guys that kind of like pioneered. I was like, these guys are fucking sick. Like I wasn't I wasn't super networked necessarily with like local tattooers yet. Just all these like old school guys. I just admired the fact of like prohibition tattooing and them not giving a shit, and like I don't know, I just thought all that was super cool. But then like coming here and learning, like finding a network of tattooers. One guy I found on Instagram that really resonates, I feel like with what I like to draw, his Instagram name is Janky Bangers, and he does like psychedelic, weird traditional tattoos, and I definitely find a lot of inspiration for my drawing from that guy. But definitely like Tom Strom. And honestly, Joshua Bowers, like his machines are great, but his tattoos, he's definitely like
trippy.
His tattoos and his drawings, I definitely like. As a tattooer, I think he's fucking sick. I love his tattoos.
Me too. I love Joshua Bowers.
He's one dude I would love to get.
That weird dragon thing that he did.
And he'll just post like an Instagram story of him like sitting at a convention or something and just like drawing something. I'm like, that is so sick.
That imagination is, I don't know. I kind of envy that, and you know, just wish that, like, man, how does your brain go there?
Yeah. See, and like I would see stuff like that and I'm like, I could never do this because I can't do that. But like, and definitely all you guys, I'm fortunate enough where I get to sit here and like see you guys do all this beautiful work that I hope I could do something like one day, which is super cool.
It's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a big world out there.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, it takes a long time, man. You just gotta learn. Like I said, every tattoo is a learning process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Learn what to do or what not to do next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Just don't beat yourself up too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get gray hair real fast.
Hey. Not only that, but I think when I was doing a video the other day, I'm like, holy shit, is my hair thinning? And the bad part about it is if it is, it's thinning up here, which means I'm just going to shave my head.
Yeah, just go bald, it's fine.
I wouldn't know. But the dude who did these tattoos, he's younger than me. He's probably like, I don't know, maybe 40. So not your age.
But he's looking older.
Dude, he is legit like, and he just embraced it. One of his portfolios was like, it was like a dad in a dad sweater and just bald.
Probably watching this podcast like, this motherfucker.
He's all about it.
But subscribe.
Oh man, he'd be cool to have. He's the one who shot his finger off accidentally. He is so cool. He's a good dude too. But yeah, he's balding. So, you know, that's what it'll do to you. Have to have a wooden back one of these days. You know, hopefully that's one of your goals.
So then where can people find you online or see your art? You're on Instagram.
We
got you on the website.
I'm on the internet. You can find me on the Lady Liberty Tattoo website, Instagram, Dru.Moon, to possibly inquire about commissions or tattoos or whatever. Feel for like DMs work, but I'm probably gonna try to navigate you to the email. Like I said before, it's just easy and but yeah, it's the best place to get a hold of me, I think, is via email, via Instagram.
I think what would be cool is that, what is the date today? February?
Is it the 8th? Is it the 8th?
8th?
Yes.
Ish of 2025. Like, do a year from now. 1 year later. Where are you at?
That'd be cool.
And then just document that growth, and even
that'd be cool.
you, Anna, and nobody wants to know it. I'm just going to be deteriorating over the next year for sure. My hands are going to turn to dust. But that would be cool, I think. Yeah. So we'll see what happens over the next year.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to have you here, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys.
Cheers to that.
Dude.
Having
Thanks
me
for
here.
asking to come on board.
And I appreciate you guys not bullying me too bad, but keeping me honest. Somebody's got it.
So then that's the last one.